Hi, this is Dr. Tyagarajan, Professor of Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering and Dean Academic of RMD Engineering College. In this video, I am going to explain the multiprocessor network topologies. In a network, we will have nodes like this, then switches. Showing how the nodes are connected is called the network topology. Here, a node may be only processor or it may have processor and memory. In a multi-core chip, all the cores are connected together in a single chip using a network. Similarly, in the case of clusters, the nodes will be processor and each node will have memory also. In clusters, if you want to connect all the nodes, you need local area networks. The networks are drawn as graphs like this. It will have the nodes, the switches which are shown in blue circles, and the links. The links will connect the node with the switch. See, now let us see these two network topologies, that is bus topology and ring topology. In the case of bus topology, a set of wires are used as bus and all the nodes are connected with the bus through links. So in this case, the message will be broadcast through these wires or bus and any node can access here. So the bandwidth of the network is nothing but the bandwidth of the bus. So the next one is ring topology. In this case, the graph is shown here. The better representation is this one. Here, the messages will have to travel through all nodes. A ring is capable of transferring many simultaneous messages. So, the bandwidth of the network is equal to bandwidth of each link into number of links. Ring is a fully connected network. Every processor P has a bidirectional link to every other processor. That is here one link, here also one link. If the link is as fast as the bus, then a ring is P times faster than bus topology. Total bandwidth here is P into P minus 1 by 2, where P is the number of processors. Generally, in the case of ring, it may be divided into many sections. Generally, bisection ring is used. In that case, at the center, it is divided. In such cases, the bandwidth will be equal to P divided by 2. Bisection means 2 sections. So, P divided by 2 whole square. That will be the bandwidth for the bisection ring. The next topology is star topology. Here all the nodes are connected to a central device called as hub. So each node will have a point-to-point connection with the hub. See, generally in the place of nodes, you can also use switches because switches will not have memory, so the size will be small. The other type of network is Boolean cube tree network. Since it is a cube, it has 3 dimensions. One is here, one is here, one is here. So n is equal to 3 here. So each switch will have 3 links because n is equal to 3. In addition to that, you will have one link to connect the processor to the switch. So you will be using 4 links. Since n is equal to 3, in this network, you can have 2 power 3 nodes. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 power 3 is 8. So 8 nodes are in this network. The next one is 2D grid or mesh network. From the name itself, it is known that it is a two-dimensional network. So n is equal to 2 here. So each switch will have two links like this. Since n is equal to 2, there are two links. In addition to that, the processor will be connected to the switch through another link. The next one is multi-stage networks. In this case, messages can travel in multiple steps. There are two types. One is fully connected or crossbar networks. The other one is omega networks. In the case of fully connected network, any node can communicate with any other node in one pass through the network. The another one is omega networks, which uses less hardware than the crossbar network, but all the processors may not be connected. Only partially the processors will be connected, and bus contention may also occur between the messages. So in the crossbar network, this is the crossbar network. Here I have taken 8 processors named as P0, P1 up to P7, and to connect these processors fully from one to another, you need 64 switches arranged in rows and columns like this. Now, in this case, any node can communicate with any other node in one pass through the network. For example, if P1 wants to communicate with P0, it will transmit the data in this row, and if this switch is closed, it will pass through this line and it will reach P0. Similarly, if P0 wants to communicate with P2, that is here, then this switch should be closed. The third switch in the first row should be closed. In that case, the message will pass like this and it will reach the P2. So if P0 wants to communicate with P2, this switch should be closed. So like this, any switch will help to communicate between a pair of processors or nodes. Now, in this second network, we are taking the same number of nodes or processors. Now you see the connection, how is it made? The first two processors are connected to one switch box. So this is called as switch box. This is a switch box. So there are 3 into 4, 12 switch boxes. In each switch box, there are 4 small switches connected like this. So it will have 2 inputs. So here also you see there are 2 inputs. Similarly, there are 2 outputs. The same thing is shown here. If A sends a message and if it has to reach C, you see that message will come here. If this switch is closed, it will go to C. If the second switch is closed, A will be connected with D. Similarly, if B is connected to C, if B is to be connected with C, then this switch should be closed. So the message will pass like this. Similarly, B can also be connected with D by using this switch. Now you come here. So this switch box will have 2 inputs and 2 outputs. If a message is to be passed from P0, it will come here to this switch box. From this switch box, it can go to this one or it can go by this way. So if it is coming here, it may go like this, or even it may go to P1 like this. If message is sent by P0, if it is coming here, and if it is passed through this D output, it is coming here. Again, if this is passed here, it will come here. This switch box is also having two outputs. It may come either to this output or it may come to this output. If it is coming to this output, it will reach P4. So P0 can communicate with P4 through this path. If it wants to communicate with P5, then up to this same path. But here, instead of going here, it should come here and it should reach P5. Now, if P0 wants to communicate with P6, is it possible? See, it is not at all connected with P6. Actually, at maximum, it can reach P5 because the connections have been made like this. Similarly, it may not reach P7 also. So, all these processors are not fully connected here. They are partially connected. Similarly, if P0 is sending message through this one A, then D, then through this one, when it is sending messages like this, P1 may not send message to P4. See, when P0 is sending message through this path to P4, P1 may not send its message through the same line, because if P1 has to reach P0, it should go here, then that message should come here, it should come here, the same path should be followed. But P0 has already accessed that path, so P1 may not use that. So this is called as contention, message contention. So this will also happen in this case. Why this problem arises? Because see, if you see these connections, P0, P1 are connected to the first switch box, P2, P3 second switch box, P4, P5 are connected to third switch box, like that. Now, this switch box has two outputs and it can connect only to this switch box and this switch box. Then if you take this one, this is connected to the next two. So the next column is over. Then if you come to this third switch box in the first column, it is connected only with the first two switch boxes in the second column. Then this is connected to the next two switch boxes in the second column. So like that, in each column, the number of switch boxes are divided into two groups. Right? This is the first group, this is the second group. Similarly, for the third column, this is the first group, this is the second group. Any switch will be connected to only one group. If the switch is connected to this first group, it will not be connected to the second group. That is why this problem arises. But the main advantage here is the number of switches required will be less. For example, here 3 into 4, there are 12 switch boxes shown here, and each switch box has 4 switches. So 12 into 4, 48 switches are used in this network. But if you see the previous one, here how many switches? 8 into 8, 64 switches are required. But this provides fully connected network. But this one does not provide a fully connected network, but still all the processors can communicate, and the number of switches required will be less in this case.